What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy and I'm in a really weird surrounding on an actual laptop and not using my webcam. I haven't got a microphone, so the audio quality is going to be terrible. I've already reviewed it. It's not the best, but it's what you're going to get. I'm recording this on a Monday. The time has just gone past noon, I believe, in America, but it's about 6:30 UK time, as my laptop's already got only got the UK time, and I'm just going on the fact it's 6 hours behind. But this is the episode number 1 of team reviews. Now, hopefully you are going to all enjoy this. I've got 3 people who have tweeted me so far. This first one I'm going to do is basically just talk about the team, what players I think he could be getting rid of, what players I think he should be getting rid of, and then any replacements I feel like he should be making and could be putting in there. So first I'll start with the goalkeepers. His 2 goalkeepers I can see on the screen is De Gea from Manchester United and Butland from Stoke. 2 very solid keepers. If I had one change to make in there, it would be De Gea, but generally, if De Gea's not going to perform, then you've got Butland to perform, and he's got 2 decent choices there, so no real qualms with that. I think Butland is definitely the best backup keeper available for the price you're going to pay. And moving on to his defenders, he's got Alberto Moreno of Liverpool, he's got Alderweireld of Tottenham, he's got Ward of Palace, he's also got Kolarov of City and Bellerin of Arsenal. That's like Manchester United there, that would have pissed a few people off. I've got a few notes. First of all, first problem is Ward. Although he's cheap and he's good, I feel like there are better options out there. Certainly one option I would consider. Actually, I'll go on to that in a sec. But form currently is bad with Crystal Palace. They were good at the start of the season. They're keeping a lot of teams away. Ward also, I believe, grabbed a few goals. But right at the start of the season, but hasn't really done anything since. And clean sheets have really dried up for Crystal Palace. They're struggling to get them at the moment. I think in the last 4 games, they've just got 1 clean sheet. So, it's not too good. But for the price you're going to pay for him, I don't expect anything less or anything more. So it's about average. But if you were going to make a change, with the new transfer period coming up, so you get one wild card to make as many transfers as you want, I'll be maybe targeting him to get out. And secondly, Alberto Moreno. Now he is struggling. He's a fullback that likes to get forward. At the moment, he's not doing much of that, and he's also not doing much of defending. Liverpool are consistently conceding, and as by their Newcastle result, which wasn't too good, and them getting beaten 3-0 by Watford, with Harlow and Deeney, tearing them apart in that game. Also interesting though, Watford's 4th different goal scorer scored in that game, Nathan Lake, even though I'm pretty sure that was a foul on him. It's a struggle. I think he's 5 million at the moment, so there are definitely better choices for him to be replaced by, but he's a decent choice. So that's for the defence. Alderweireld, solid player. I'm not going to complain about him. Bellerin, constantly get forward. Arsenal getting a lot of clean sheets as well, so it gives you 2 different options for him to get points from. And also Kolarov, once Company is back to shore their defence up, he will hopefully be going back to the ways of assists on goals and clean sheets, which means he's going to be one of the best defenders to have in the Premier League. Now he's got his 5 midfielders laid out. The picture he tweeted me, he's got all 5 of them on the pitch, so it makes it easier for me. He's got Özil, Coutinho, Mahrez, Cabaye, and also Ramsey. Now, Özil and Mahrez, for me, are 2 of the best players to have in your fantasy Premier League teams. Ramsey, I'm not sure about, but he's doing okay at the moment. In the last 3 games, he has played 90 minutes of football. He's grabbed at least a goal or assist, so not too bad from him. 2 problems I have though, or slight problems I'd say, is Coutinho and Cabaye. It's worth thinking about if you are going to use your wild card, maybe getting rid of them 2 because they're not consistent point scorers. I think there are better options out there. And as for the attack, Vardy, Carlo, and Deeney. Vardy, Icarlo and Lukaku, beg your pardon, the best attack force. Maybe you can add Kane in there, but for me, they're the best 3 attackers at the moment. And if you haven't got those 3, then I'm struggling to see if you have any brain cells. I apologise to being mean, but another quick thing before I go on to possible replacements is the number of teams. Now, this is a huge thing because you want to try and have as many amounts of teams as possible. Excuse my shockingly bad English. I calculated them up, and he's got 10 different teams. So 15 players, 10 different teams, which is not a bad option. You don't want to have the point where you got 7 or 8 teams, and where if a few teams are playing each other in the game week, you're going to have a really low scoring game week. Because if you have like Watford versus Liverpool, you've got Liverpool players and Watford players. Your Liverpool players, all 3 of them are going to be bang bang bang, bad bad bad. Your Watford players are going to be good. you know, they're all going to be good, you know, because you've got defenders and midfielders are going to get clean sheets. Attackers, you know, Dini and Nicolo, you know, were very good in that game. Nicolo scoring 2 goals as well. So, now maybe something to think about, but 10 teams is the amount of team or players and teams that I've got. So I think it's a decent amount to have. And last, I want to go on a few changes. Now, I did mention the goalkeepers were pretty much fine. If I was going to make any changes, I'd get De Gea out and check in, only because his points per game is better than David De Gea, and also his amount of clean sheets. He's a better goalkeeper in general, I believe. And with Man United's defensive problems, you know, Czech is a safer pair of hands to have. Moving on to the defence, I've found 4 players maybe you could introduce. I'll go from the lowest price up. So I was mentioning Ward is quite a low price defender. 4.5 million, you get yourself Philip Walschild. Now for me, he's quite a decent player. He's playing some football for Stoke, and Stoke, as you know from Burnley's performances, they're doing all right at the back. They're shoring themselves up, becoming a very hard team to beat, almost like the old Pulis days, but they're playing a much more attractive style of football. So for me, 4.5 million, Philip Walschild is a fantastic signing for you. Next up, 5.5 million, I've got Scott Dan. Now, I did say Palace have shored up on the clean sheets front. Dan does score a few goals. He's got 3 goals to his name, and I believe an assist as well so far this season. So if you are wanting to keep, you know, the Palace defence, because they will start getting clean sheets again, I truly believe that if Alan Pardew's style of play they like to bring to clubs, for me, you know, it's definitely worth considering getting Scott Dan in there, because I did add it up. I put him into the team. I believe you've got about 4 million left, or should be somewhere around there. So Scott Dan's definitely a good choice. Next, for 6 million, you've got Koscielny. And the reason I think Koscielny is a good player, as I mentioned, Czech, you know, one of the best keepers. Koscielny, you know, fantastic defender, you know, can lead from the back and also grab himself goals as well. I believe he's got 2 so far this season, and he'll only add to that as the season comes. He'll get at least another 2 more for me by the end of the season. And for 6 million, I think it's a good choice because they are very solid at the back, and they're only one of the, well, they're probably the only big team out of the supposed big 6. Now Leicester now, I suppose, big 7, that have got a fully fit back line that they can rely on. And that is good to see. Once Coquelin's back, they'll be definitely a much better team. And lastly, Vincent Kompany, 6.2 million. I've got him in my team. He's going to be coming back from injury, hopefully 26th for the next game week. And if he does, then City will have a short back line. And if you can bring him in with Kolarov, it is a risk to have 2 players, you know, in the same defensive area. I've got it with Czech and Koscielny. That can haunt me from time to time, but Kompany has conceded 1 goal so far in all of the 8 games he's played, and that was a goalkeeping error, so something to consider. And I've only got 3 midfielders. I'll go again in price order. So 6.5 million, I've got Jordan Henderson. He's only just come back from injury. He's played, I think, 5 games only this season, started in only 4. I believe, but he's, you know, getting a decent point average. You know, he's grabbed himself a clean sheet and an assist in 1 game, and then also grabbed himself up, you know, a decent game in the not last game week, or not this game week, but the game week before. So definitely a player to consider. Well, Liverpool will get better under Klopp. It's just a matter of time before they click, and every player gets to know the system that he likes to work with. So Henderson's definitely one to consider. Next up, 7.5 million is Ross Barkley. He's definitely an in-out player, but if he's on form and he's on fire, then he's definitely going to get you points. He's one of the best points per game scorers in the whole of the Fantasy Premier League midfielders section, so definitely one to consider. And if you've got 4 million spare, maybe get rid of Coutinho. You can get an extra million, or you lose an extra million for getting rid of Kabay. And lastly, 7.7 million is Dimitri Payet. Now, he's been injured for the longest time now. West Ham fans will be loving the day he comes back. And he's due back, according to Fantasy Premier League, on the 2nd of January. If that is true, get him in your teams now, because then you shouldn't really need to have... if you've got 1 player injured, it's not the end of the world. And for me, you know, I'll be looking to get him into my team as soon as possible. So there we go. The striker-wise is not much point. I see your attackers the best 3 attackers on the whole game, so definitely no improvements need to be made there. But thank you guys for watching. Nonetheless, I don't need these notes anymore. If you like this video, then leave a like, leave anything in the comments down below, and subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy. And I'll catch you all in episode number 2. Peace.